The first leg of the Asian round of the XRL Racing League. We are here for the GP2 round 13 at Marina Bay in Singapore. The city-state, much like New York, right by the coastline. We've got lots of night air under lights. Unique until this year, of course, where Bahrain started to copy their gimmick for the first ever time. Many people are looking forward to the next game to give that a go. We've got one of the fastest leagues here going around the city streets of Singapore, Marina Bay. I'm Peter Marcroft, and tonight, well, I'm joined by a couple of long-suffering people. I've got Chris Moss and Connor Anderson. Good evening to you both. So Marina Bay, Singapore, obviously famous for being under lights, very close to the barriers, kind of like a cross between Long Beach in the USA and also the Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia. With a bit of splash of Abu Dhabi because of the buildings in the background, and with the close barriers, it also makes you think of Monte Carlo. Needless to say, all challenging circuits, so all places where you've got to really know your stuff, and Marina Bay is no different. So currently trying to find who's at the head of the snake here. Ian Unstoppable's on a lap at the moment in the Williams, and he's currently going through into turn 8 and 9. Tricky corners these with the back, with the bumps. Very easy on the inside to throw you off towards the wall. But so far holding it together, getting as close as he dares. Of course, tyres this weekend are the options and the mediums. It's a bit surprising. Turn 10, not the same as it used to be. Not a three-part chicane anymore. A lot faster, so the lap times are a lot quicker. So although Ian Unstoppable's gone around the Anderson hairpin onto the Anderson Bridge, should be a DRS zone down here, but it's not for some strange reason. Of course, we saw what happened with Jean-Eric Vergne and Michael Schumacher a couple of years ago, so maybe it's for the best that they're not allowing people to reduce the strike there. But either way, into sets of 3, tight and twisting with lots of high-speed changes of direction, definitely the kind of circuit where you want the Red Bull set up. Meanwhile, who are you guys on board with at the moment?
I've just finished a lap with Jamie, and he just done a 38.2 on the Supersauce, but Fatchan has gone and done a 37.8, which would have easily put him 3 tenths on pole in the F1 division.
That's an incredible piece of performance. As Unstoppable extends the final corners to 143. Dead. I'm pretty certain he's going to find a lot more pace than now. Magic Milkmayor in the Red Bull going into the Anderson hairpin. Got very wide there. Got nowhere near the tight line. You've got to be careful on the outside because while it looks like there's harmless runoff there, it actually slows your car down like sticky grass. Very, very deceptive. On stream, meanwhile, on Channel 1, XRL Bullets, check in, say evening all. Don't forget, guys, you can check out Channel 2, where Connor Anderson is streaming for the first time in simulcast. Never been done in GP2, been done many times in F1. So if you want 2 different perspectives, check them out on Channel 2. So Magic Milk, completing the final part of his lap, going through turn 20, got it a bit wrong there, that's almost like to have bought the lap, indeed goes into the pits. Obviously not happy with the pace here. One of those circuits where you can ruin your lap very easy on one corner, isn't it, Chris?
Absolutely, and if you ruin your lap, then you're going to have to go in the pits, and it will take you another 3-4 minutes before you can go and take another lap.
On the stream, well, TRL is asking, who do we think can win? Well, since you, Connor, and also you, Chris, have been doing the scouting for this division for quite some time, who would your money be on such a technical, tight track, which saw so many retirements in the F1 race?
Ooh, just before the grandstand, and I would say either Jamie or Stuart for the win.
You're back in the big guns. What about you, Chris? Who is it you'd go for?
Well, I would be going for someone like Fozzie, who did win at Monaco earlier in the season, but with the pace of Fatchan that's just set a lap time which hasn't even been set in the F1 division for the past 2 years, he's got a very, very good chance of getting his debut win in his debut race.
Well, don't forget, we have seen this before in the past, where we've had a lot of really high qualifying pace, as I've suddenly been booted back to the timing board. Not entirely sure why, but I'll give you a quick rundown on the order while I'm here. 37.8 indeed from Fat Chan. Oki-chan, as it'd say in Japanese. And then Jamie2503 is second on a 138.2. That's only 4 tenths off mine, so that shows a lot of pace. And right behind him, only 0.003 of a second slower, XRL Stewart. So those 3 guys at the top. But then there's a 2-second deficit to Ian Unstoppable, XRL Fozzie, and XRL Rusty. That is pretty epic in terms of performance between the cars. I'm going to try and get back on the track, and Fozzie is on another lap by the looks of it. He's in the Ferrari on the prime tyres, so the white wall mediums, obviously a lot less pacey than the red wall super softs. Bit interesting to see the gap in the performance between the tyres here, but even with that gap, it's still a tyre breaker of the circuit. Magic Muck's on an outlap in the Red Bull. He's not set a time as yet, so we'll be able to see if he brings something. Tom Chambers is also on his way out of the pit. Limit Dead 69's aborted straight away, not even set a lap time, so there's quite a lot of difference here. The Awesome Panda is also on an outlap, trying to find someone who's actually attacking the circuit. I'm a Boyce in the Lotus. Oh, made a big mistake at turn 8. Almost goes into the wall and ends up letting the Toro Rosso go through. Definitely not his pace at the moment. Fifth Alonso in sector 3 on his outlap, so he's not yet on the lap time either. XRL Bernie, meanwhile, he's on the option tyres going through turn 10, so he's one way from starting a lap here. We're in that position where no one seems to be on an actual lap. Quite frustrating to watch.
And FIF Alonso is now coming around the final couple of corners on the prime tyres, using the rest of his curves to get down to the home straight.
Let's see if we can catch up to him at the moment. As I'm a Boyce that's completing his very slow in-lap pretty much after that mistake. So Fifth Alonso going through turns 2 and 3, kind of like the reverse mirror image of Albert Park's opening chicane in many ways. And then you're into the tight turn 4, going as close to the wall as you dare. And then you're on down towards turn 6, and well, not really much of a turn. This is it. You get your DRS lap open and you attack the inside. On the prime tyres, you expect the difference between the times to be at least a second. But it's a question of the pace in the car. Oh, he just about kept that in the lines there. At turn 7, did a beautiful job of ragging as much. Oh, and it goes too wide, hits the wall, but manages to avoid damaging the tyres and his car win. Very, very lucky. Going through turn 10, you can see Fifth Alonso getting out of the gas there. Qualifiers got a bit of understeer through 11 and 12, and then we're into turn 13, as I call it, the Anderson hairpin. And look at the understeer, he's hit the wall! He's got so little performance on those tyres, and that's that lap completely gone. XRL Bernie, his teammate on meanwhile, got to turn 8 on the option tyres, and he's got very close to the outside wall. These drivers have been very clumsy, really pushing a bit too tight to the wall, should say. XRL Bernie coming onto the Anderson hairpin. Once again, you've seen the guys on the prime tyres really struggling to get the front end biting into that car. We saw that this weekend at Hungary with the wet weather. Is it one of the endemic things that when you're on the slower tyre, it just means that you've not got the downforce to get into the corner?
It's just one of the things with the two-step gap between the tyres. It's just so...
Oh, corner cut from XRL Bernie there. Penalty on you for getting over the inside there. Bad boy. But the two-step tyres, you did mention that there, Chris, and you're quite correct. With the two-step tyres, it makes things very difficult in terms of getting the pace out of the car. And I think Bernie's realised he's got the corner cut because he's gone straight into the pits. Either that or he's listening. Meanwhile, Fatchan's out on a second lap, driving in the Mercedes, putting in a really powerful performance so far. Oh, he's gone wide, he's gone too far though. He's hit the wall under the bridge, and that's a bad performance as he goes under the grandstand. I'm sure he'll be going straight to the pits here. Oh, he's going into the wall again almost. He's pushing, and strangely, I'm not seeing any damage to the car. Oh, and he's got an ugly corner cut going into the pits there. Really ragged that car.
In fact, he's actually lost the provisional lead. And Jamie's doing quicker in a 37.8 in the Mercedes as well.
Really shows that sometimes the pace of the lower divisions will catch a lot of you people out. We were saying, of course, in the mid-season review when a few drivers have gone down to the lower divisions, having been relegated, and have found it very tricky to find the way back up. Many people think it's automatic promotion. It certainly ain't. Going through into the sector 3, Magic Mill is set a lap time 138.7. That's P4 on a 138.7. Shows that the pace at the front is really, really powerful. On the stream, plenty of comments at the moment. TRLOS seems to be talking about corner cutting a few times. There have been a few corner cuts spotted, but most drivers have either hit the wall or aborted the laps. So far, it's been pretty good to see. Question of whether that kind of etiquette carries... Oh! As Magic Milk suddenly takes off for no reason as he comes towards the end of the lap, managed to avoid the wall, but that was a very strange bug there from his car, got nowhere near the circuit. Now meanwhile, we've got a car showing in white on the minimap. I don't know if that's someone possibly going very slow, but Elon Snupp was trying again on a 139.3. It's found some pace, good enough for P5, but it shows that that's nearly half a second off the guys near the podium, and that's a big gap to make up on a track like Marina Bay Singapore, surely. Well, what kind of time would you be aiming for if you were in this race tonight? Where would you be trying to get in terms of your pace and your tyres?
Well, it's a very tricky one to pass, as we saw in the F1 division last night, and it was mainly down to the safety cars where everyone bunched up where overtakes was done. So you want to be at the front, and the two Mercedes look like they're the ones that are going to be doing it, and everybody else is going to be struggling in the midfield.
Ian Stoffel to complete his lap, but no improvement in the Williams. So he's found life very difficult there, not found any extra pace. Meanwhile, Speedo56 says he thinks a white dot means that they're on an out lap. Thank you very much, Ted Gravitz, there in the pit lane for us. Now, meanwhile, Rusty Huss is in the Williams on the option tyres, coming into the Anderson hairpin. He needs to find a lot of pace. He's currently well down. P9 on a 42.4. That's almost like a Division 1 playing a Premiership in terms of pace difference there. And to head into the start of the second sector, and again, he seems a bit tentative getting on the throttle, Rusty Nuts. Really not finding the confidence in the car. But then again, Marina-based Singapore is a very low-grip circuit, much like Hungaroring. So it's obviously a tricky track to get the confidence out of, isn't it?
You can notice here everywhere.
Yeah, definitely, Conor. Like, one of the things you are, when you're finding low grip, you're trying to push into the corner much harder. And obviously, downforce on these games, not exactly coded, but much bigger improvement for Rusty Nuts. 139.6, he's found 2.5 seconds. Big change there. Awesome Panda now under pressure. He's got an outlap in the Lotus, and I don't think he's going to get round. He's just coming up to turn 10 now, with about 70 seconds to go. Ooh, that's touch and go, so whether he's going to make a lap. XRL Fuzzy's definitely not going to make it. He's only just gone through turn 5. Now, Living Dead 69 meanwhile, in the McLaren. Not seen much of the McLarens this session. Let's ride on board. Down towards turn 7 as he's got Toro Rosso off, who's straight line at turn 7, but not got in anyone's way. Good driving there. Kept out of the way of the drivers. Turn 8. Tricky, but understeer there from Living Dead. He really struggled. Tried using the extra width. Oh! Nearly spun the car. Big drift through turn 9, but managed to hang that on. And you can see that's ruined his tyres. Look at the understeer that gave him in turn 10. This lap's gone, and he's not yet qualified. So he's got no choice. He has to finish this lap. And that's going to really compromise this race. He'll take loads of wear out of those tyres and gain no time at all. On the screen, meanwhile, lots of people are asking, how many DNFs do you think we will see? That was from Moss F1 GP. Well, last night, it only ended with 5 drivers making the flag. And with Singapore as a long circuit, it's very easy to hit the wall. It's very high chance of a safety car, so it's quite possible we might see a high rate of attrition here. But on the 50% distance, I expect we'll see more drivers making the flag. I mean, obviously, Chris, you were watching last night. You were in the box of XRL Bernie, aka Dan Fisk. How did you see it firsthand? Did you reckon it's going to be a little easier for the guys on the 50%?
It should be a lot easier. The tyre wear will probably be as bad as the 100%, but it should be easier. It's less percentage for them to do. But obviously, incidents can happen at many. So I do expect to see safety car, which will extend the race time.
Well, it's Fat Chat going through out the corner. I hate that corner, that name, Fat Chat. It sounds ridiculous. Going over the Anderson Bridge, finds it very easy to get close to the outside, gets a lot of grip there. It's the start of sector 3, it's pushing really hard. I do wish this track had corner names. It gets on my nerves saying into turn 14 and 16. It's so lifeless and characterless. But going under the bridge now, it's called the grandstand 90-degree hairpin, and he's got very close to the outside barrier, really pushing the car. But is this going to be an improvement from Fat Chat as we come into the final part of the lap? Going onto the outside, as close to the wall as he dares. That's almost Monte Carlo driving. Going into the final hairpin, keeps all 4 tyres on. Is this an improvement in time? A 137.4. That's a great lap for him, but Magic. Oh, it's on the last in line. He's hit the wall. Lost his front wing, and that's ended his qualifying in absolute catastrophe. The awesome Panda, meanwhile, is not going to improve. He's the last one on the track on a 39.7. So let's give you a provisional rundown of the grid. This is as we stand so far. Fat Chap rags out on the final lap with a 37.4, and then Jamie, his teammate, on a 37.8. Oh, both faster than the F1 division. That's impressive. Then we've got XRL Stewart on a 38.2 in third, then Magic Milk a 38.7 in fourth. Then we've got Ian Stoppel 39.3 in fifth, Rusty Nuts 39.6, Panda in 39.7, then 41.1 for Ozzy and 42.1 for Tom Chambers, while Living Dead, Boyce and Fifth Alonso and XRL Bernie all failed to qualify. I mean, are you surprised that people haven't qualified on a track like this?
I Plus, I personally don't think it's a surprise. People want to start fresher tyres, get the primes out of the way quicker, end on the quicker tyres. It's a smart move for some people.
Definitely. So I would say we're going to be getting out to the paddock as soon as possible. Please keep your questions coming in, both on Channel 1 and also Channel 2. Connorized is breathing, is streaming out there. We're all breathing, of course. And he's going to be able to pick up the messages there. You can also send them via Xbox Live, either to myself, Swishbone, Connorized, or Riotous Tag. You can send messages that way if you're watching us on the Twitch app. And if you're on the chat room, well, I might as well be with the amount of comments coming through at the moment. Get your messages out there. So, XRL Bobbert says he still can't believe that he didn't win last night. Well, one of the things in the safety car, look at Nico Rosberg at this week's Hungaroring race. He was out in front, safety car came out, and that was it, race over. Meanwhile, Jigsaw says it was a mad race, but Fearless would have won if he didn't make a schoolboy error, pitting on the first safety car. And meanwhile, Swimmywad is saying that Magic Milk hit the wall like a Maldonado. Well, based off this weekend, it's more like a Grosjean.
And a Perez.
And an Ericsson. How many more can we say? I can't say like a Vettel because he didn't hit the wall, the jamming bastard. He got away with that one. So in the meantime, obviously, we're going to be here for 30 laps at the Marina Bay circuit in Singapore, or 31 laps even. Wow, I thought it was only 30. It's a long race, this. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Lap time's probably going to be somewhere in the 140s. So it's going to be difficult for these guys to make it through. Most F1GB says, how many safety cars do we think they will be? Hopefully, we're not going to see any. But with a circuit like this, I will not be surprised if we have at least one. Meanwhile, TRL Ellis just gets on Xbox Live and says, hi. Well, good evening to you. Thank you very much for messaging in. So the only way we're going to know what's going to really happen is getting out to the circuit. Fortunately, 0% chance of rain. Or so the radar says. Let's see what happens and get out to the circuit. Just keep in mind, saying we have sponsors Swish language. I said he's a jammy B-star, and that means a person born out of marriage. It's not swearing. So put that one in your pipe and smoke on it.
I don't think Bob smokes on pipes.
Just what I was talking about Just Keaton, wasn't it?
Fair enough.
Bobbers, meanwhile, says he thinks he would have won last night's race, so it would have been very close, minus his lock-up that cost him 10 seconds, and then someone not getting out of his way. Well, that's all I've got to say today. That sounds like racing drivers' excuses to me. So Marina Bay in Singapore, under floodlights, by the coast, lots of in-blowing rain potentially. We've also got a lot of tight corners and twisty walls, like some very similar shades of Melbourne and also shades of Monte Carlo. It's going to be a tricky race, 31 laps, anything is possible. And once those 5 lights go out, we will be racing live here on Twitch on channels 1 and 2. Lights out, and away they go! So he's down to the first corner. Fatchak gets a bit of, slow getaway down. His teammate Jamie fancies him out the inside for turn 1. But he goes over the inside as he's pushed by the McLaren. But in the spin from Jamie and also spin from Thatcher. Absolute pile of mayhem in the first corner. We've got Thatcher down in 6th place now. And already Olsen Panthers sneak ahead of him. And meanwhile in the Ferrari on the outside, I believe that's Tom Chambers who's trying to sneak away through. Oh, once again, Thatcher gets smashed onto the outside. Very tricky driving there. Not quite sure what happened. And the Olsen Panther now in 5th place. Great recovery drive. Massive pack of cars down towards turn 7. We've got Thatcher being chased on the outside. Ferrari trying to go around the outside. When he's got off the circuit, that's going to leave him vulnerable to the guys behind him. Yeah, Tom Chambers under big pressure now as both the Motors and the Williams sneak through. Catastrophic first corners there. Absolutely crazy. Ivan Boyce in 8th place, chasing down the Williams in 7th of Rusty Nuts. He's done well despite the poor qualifying. Austin Panda in P6, been overtaken by Fatchan down towards turn 10. He's trying to recover after that terrible start. And then we've also got in 4th place, bit of wing action by the sounds of it. Ian Soppel in the Williams. In P3, meanwhile, XRL Stewart did a great job for McLaren. And then up in 2nd place is Magic Milk. Despite his crash in qualifying, he was able to make it count on race day. And Jamie is out in the lead by a good second already. Riding on board, Fat Chan is currently in P5. Oh, Ian Snowball goes very close to the wall, the grandstand turn, but just about gets away with that. Puts very, very easy to the wall. Trying to go on the outside. Fat Chan's clearly got the faster car here, but he's also struggling and he found himself in the middle of the pack. Around the final corner as Ian Snowball goes wide, and this is going to give a great chance to Fat Chan, who deploys his curse down towards turn 1. He's going to be able to make it stick on the inside. Can he get clean on the inside? Yes, he can. Great passing there from Fat Chan, but Ian Snowball trying to go around the outside and fight back, but he's not been able to make it through. They're side by side into turn 5. This is great stuff here. Fat Chan goes wide, Ian Snowball goes even wider, hits the wall, and that is a catastrophic mistake.
Got a puncher.
Awesome Panda now is winding up Fat Chan down towards turn 7. He's going on the inside. Fat Chan goes a little wide but gets away with that. Awesome Panda hangs on in P5. Meanwhile, on the 07 Ryan says a little late to the screen, quick summary of lap 1, chaos. Turn 1, chaos. That's the summary of the first lap here in the GP2 race here at Marina Bay, Singapore. And of course, brought to you tonight by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Exclusively live on Twitch.tv via Xbox Live on the app, or of course online. And if you're in the chat box, please get your messages coming. But my God, there's some crazy comments I can't get through there, guys. Get a room if you're going to talk about that kind of stuff. Thatcher now in P4, having got past the unfortunate Ian Stoppel, went too wide at turn 5. Awesome Panda stuck with him, surprisingly, considering the golfing qualifying pace. Thatcher's not getting away. Ooh, and then into the wall, the grandstand hairpin. So Awesome Panda's struggling a bit. Now, we saw this in the Hungaroring, didn't we, when we saw Jean-Eric Verne managing to keep ahead of the Mercedes of Nico Rosberg. Is it one of those endemic where the car is really good in qualifying, but then when it comes to the race pace, gets stuck in traffic, and it's a whole different animal? Meanwhile, Tom Chambers is boxing into the pits already. It's the end of lap 2, and he's been obviously Ian Stoppel's going to change his wing, but I'm really surprised at Tom Chambers. What tyres is he going on? He's changing his wing as well, and onto the prime tyres, going for the long stream now. And Ian Stoppel, he's on a puncher. Look at that, absolutely nowhere. He's well at the back of the field.
XRL Stewart instead of Magic Milk into turn 4.
Into turn 7, XRL Stewart just not able to get the move done, but into turn 8, and you can see Magic Milk's gone wide, he's hit the wall, lost an end plate, and Magic Milk almost pushed Stewart into the wall. Turn 9, aggressive driving by Magic Milk, coming in towards turn 10, XRL Stewart's got better run out the corner. Can he slick it on the inside of turn 7? We saw X-Jambo do this in the last season of XRL in the F1 division. Oh, horrible corner cut from XRL Stewart there, and he's got Thatcher all over his gearbox into the Anderson hairpin, and Stewart tries to tight a line as Magic Milk goes wide onto the Anderson bridge, and Fat Chan has also followed them as we go down towards the end of sector 2. Into turn 14, and Fat Chan tries to go around the outside, theoretically possible. We saw Mark Webber do that on Johnson Button in 2013, but he's just not got the grip at this point of the race. How long will those tyres last for, do you reckon, the option tyres in these kind of conditions? So Thatcher getting a better run out of turn 20, and that's got him all over the back of XRL Stewart. DRS will be available this lap, so Stewart's under big pressure here. Goes a bit wide in the final corner over the start-finish line. Flat goes over the Thatcher's car. Stewart was late deploying his, but look at the speed of that McLaren. It was just able to drop the Mercedes almost. Really surprised at that. On the stream, Al Jigsaw's. On the string, Jigsaw's reckons that we're going to see 3 prime stops for Ian Unstoppable and Tom Chambers, as Magic Milk makes a big mistake at turn 5. XRL Stewart side by side going into the kink at turn 6. Onto the outside, turn 7. He's already past Magic Milk, and Magic Milk's under big pressure now because Fat Chan tends to go around the title line. Oh, little contact between the Mercedes and the Red Bull there at turn 7. And into turn 8, XRL Stewart's catching these guys out. He's braking earlier than they expected. Into turn 9, Fat Chan's going to try and take advantage. Collision and contact between Magic Milk and Fat Chan, but Fat Chan sticks it up the inside. He had the corner, and ultimately he's had to let him through.
Letting James look away as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. These guys all getting together in the walls is exactly what Jamie needed. And of course, Jamie showed he had the pace on his teammate. Might have lost out on qualifying by 4/10 or so. But needless to say, very close. On the stream, Steve-O asking what was the pole time at 37.4. Yeah. Sorry, what was that comment?
Magic Milk then grip the wall, really struggling.
Indeed, Awesome Panda's all over the back of the Lotus now, so Magic Milk in the Ramble really finding grip hard to come by here on the streets of Singapore. As I go under the grandstand into turn 19, and you can see that he's really struggling to get the grip down, isn't he, Magic Milk? Look how wide he's gone at 20 and 21. As we head into the final hairpin corner, he stays out, he's not going to go into the pits, but Awesome Panda's got a potential DRS-assisted pass here. There goes the flap down towards turn 1. Is he close enough to... Well, he's not close enough to slink up the inside. But you get a feeling towards turn 7, that's going to be enough.
Interestingly about the pole time, it was actually 9/10 quicker than F1 pole time.
Stewart goes wide at turn 5, and that's opened the door for Fatchan, who's got the DRS flap open. As we head down towards the King at turn 6, Fatchan's on the outside, and he sees him coming, Stewart. Tries to fight back on the inside. Oh, but Fatchan's... Oh, a big mistake. He lagged off the track, came back on, and then hit Stewart and got a side pod glitch. That's unbelievable! I've never seen that before. And now Magic Milk's overtaken by Awesome Panda, but now has gone back through as Panda made a mistake at turn 8. What's going on?
Awesome Panda's still past Magic Milk and just made a mistake at turn 8.
What I want to know is what happened to Magic Milk, because he just seemed to... Not Magic Milk, sorry. What happened to Fatchan? Because at turn 7 he went off the track, hit the wall, lagged back on, and then had a side pod glitch. Kind of like his car just became a Doctor Who car all of a sudden. Andy Coyle on the stream meanwhile is saying, come on, Stewart. Well, he's doing an okay job. He's currently up towards P3. Fatchan now in P5 is staring at the back of Awesome Panda in the Lotus, and then you've got Magic Milk in P3. So a bit of a break for Stewie. He's now got ahead of these three. Awesome Panda nearly drops it at turn 17, Nelson Piquet style, but gets away with it.
And the leader pit.
So Jamie dives into the box already on lap 5. Now, Fatchan's far enough behind to potentially not get double stacked, as they're almost free abreast. They're going to fight to go to the pits here. No Magic Milk goes in, Fatchan stays out, as does the Awesome Panda. So they've got a DRS down towards turn 1. These guys are going to inherit the lead theoretically. Stewart is currently out there as well. Boom! Fatchan getting late on the brakes there, almost hit the back of Awesome Panda, who jumped very wide in turn 3. I get the feeling Panda's pushed one lap too long, and that's going to cost him dearly as we go into the pit stop phase.
And Jamie comes out in 7th place.
So Jamie's caught in a bit of traffic, where it's a question of how much those cars are going to be into the box. Going through turn 6, through the kick, Fatchan goes on the inside towards 7. Awesome Panda's probably not going to bother fighting this one. Into the inside, but Fatchan, oh, he's got all 4 tyres off. That's technically an illegal overtake, because he's gone on the outside of the white lines. He's going to have to let the Awesome Panda back through if he wants to avoid any kind of action from the stewards. We saw Roman Grosjean in 2013 at the Hungaroring, millimetres over at turn 4. It was enough for a 20-second penalty. Oh, there's a big mistake from the sister Lotus there at turn 10. But XRL Bernie, now in P5, courtesy of the tyre strategy, had to get out of the gas through 11 and 12 to avoid hitting him. Really poor driving there.
Interestingly for Jamie, he's now behind 2 of the prime runners from qualifying. He's behind Bernie and Alonso for Toro Rosso.
Now that's the big question, of course. Is he going to get held up here? Due to his inherent pace, ultimately it's still going on, going through turn 13, and Jamie is just getting those tyres up to temperature, and it's not going to be easy to do that. He's also got a bit of a gap. Meanwhile, Andy Coy reckons it'd be a harsh penalty. Well, again, it's up to the stewards. It's not to me. I'm just calling the action. I'm saying it's potentially an illegal overtake. I don't make the decisions. But going through turns 19 and 20, XRL really struggling for grip now as he tries to get close to the back of that sister Lotus, being piloted here by Arthur Boyce. Now the top 3 drivers have all gone into the box, so Boyce now takes the lead incredibly. As we head into turn 1, XRL Bernie takes a look at the Toro Rosso, but he's just not close enough to make an attacking move. As Alonso is under pressure, Jamie pushes him slightly, almost off the circuit there, and I'm not sure if all 4 tyres were on the circuit when he made the move, but Jamie nevertheless has gone through at turn 3. onto it. Oh, but then also Fifth Alonso's gone into the wall and unbelievably no damage. How's he got away with that?
He's already got a bit of side points down there anyway.
Now leading the race.
Going out on turn 7 indeed. Oh, but then he's made a mistake at turn 8. No, he's spun the car. And I'm the boys goes back through and goes, thank you very much. Well, you've just commentator's curse. XRL Bernie calling that one there, Connor. You gave him all the advantage in the world and snatched it away, you evil man. Well, one ahead. I'm the boys goes wide at turn 10. And that's going to compromise him into turns 11 and 12. You can really see him struggling for grip in that Lotus. And we're only on lap 7. Meanwhile, onto a few counters to the hole, it would be harsh. First of all, 07 Ryan Ann says the lines to find the edge of the track, and if a Monaco barrier was there, that would be the end of his race. Not fair. And meantime, CRL Ellis is saying that Jamie's was an unfair overtake. That's to be debated. And Isle of Jigsaw says was illegal at the end of the day. Well, it's not been decided. It's up to the steward, so it's not up to me. I'm just calling the action as I see it on screen. Well, let's go and get further back through the field as we try and get closer to the field. Jamie now is catching up to the two leaders very quickly. Fifth Alonso running in P4, knocking on the doors. XRL Stewart has been into the box and come out ahead of Fat Chan, so he's managed to keep himself in position. Magic Milk has stayed out on his tyres. I don't know how they're lasting. He's keeping it going, and Fat Chan now is almost going to be a pit stop ahead of him as a result of this. Is Magic Milk trying to go for a one-stop here, do you reckon?
Big up. It's more than a big up. It's at least a 3-stop race.
So it seems a bit strange, doesn't it? I mean, could you theoretically two-stop? I mean, I'm not sure how easy it's going to be. With Jamie House DRS on the back of both XRL Bernie and also Amber Boyce down towards turn 7. Great opportunity here with the DRS with a long straight at the high speed. Going into turn 7, though, you see that Amber Boyce got very ragged on the outside there. But neither Bernie nor Jamie could catch up, and Jamie's had to bail out of the gas there, get on the brakes very sharply to avoid collecting Bernie. That's cost him 2 or 3 seconds, but already he's catching it up. Such is the difference between the braking and difference between the tyres. And we've lost connection to Fat Chan. Fat Chan is out of the race. Your pick for the win has gone, Chris. Unbelievable.
They also said Fozzie.
Well, meanwhile, going down the Anderson Bridge, Fozzie's going to be sweating a bit now, hoping that the curse has not come back on him as we head down towards turn 13. And you can see that Boyce is possibly even backing up XRL Bernie here, and that's making life tricky for Jamie 2503. We saw years ago in the year 2000 when we saw Enrique Vinaldi hold up David Coulthard at Monaco for 46 laps when he was driving for the TWR Arrows. But Jamie fancies the middle of the inside under the grandstand. What an overtake! He forced his car into there and forced XRL Bernie to give it up. Brave driving, wonderful overtake.
And interestingly, Stewart's now ahead of Alonso as well, so he's catching the back of Jamie.
All of a sudden, it's all going to catch up here. Meanwhile, Key, no comment to that statement. As Amber Boyce gets a bit out of shape into turns 2 and 3 and opens the door for Jamie, who fancies a chance to attack going through turn 4, and he's got the move done, but has Amber Boyce now got DRS going down through turns 5, 6 and 7? Even if he has, it doesn't look like it's going to make any difference here because Jamie scampered away. Such is the superior grip, and even though the DRS is allowed him to catch a little bit, I think that's pretty much game over.
You need to get into us. We'll have any chance as well.
Sorry, say that again.
You would need to get past some pretty sharp bits as well.
You know, Magic Milk is still going on those option tyres, and he's behind Fifth Alonso in the Toro Rosso in P6. Magic Milk certainly having it a go. It's unbelievable. As we head down towards turn 10, you can see him move on the inside, Magic Milk. No, Magic Milk decides better of it. Heading into turns 11 and 12, and you can see here that Fifth Alonso is definitely holding it good, Magic Milk, despite the age of those tyres. Very big respect for Magic Milk to make them last as long as he has, and that's going to open the door for a two-stop strategy, surely. Going down the Anderson Bridge, it's north, and you see an overtake here. Going into the start, sector 2, keeps it on the island so far. Fifth Alonso retaliates, and Magic Milk tries to go for the undercut. Heading into turn 15. This is a side-by-side, it's one car rolling through here. Magic Milk, oh, then Magic Milk lags ahead. Well, of all the ways to take a position. Unbelievable. Yeah, XRL Stewart is all over the back of Birdie. I think Birdie's got into the pits here. And interestingly, so is Boyce. They've only lasted to lap 9. So Stewart goes back through into P2. That's a surprise that they're already in the box. You'd have expected it to be possibly around lap 12. Magic Meltdown, despite starting on the opposites, has stayed out to lap 10. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, on the street, Fat Chan is saying, sad face, I lagged out. Big commiserations to you. Your pace was excellent. You did really well. Awesome Panda now running in P5. He's the one who's really done well out of this. I'm a Boyce meanwhile going for a second set of options is trying P6. And he's actually ahead of XRL Fozzie, but Fozzie on the option tyres dives on the inside of turn 3. And you get the feeling that this is his chance to break away from I'm a Boyce. He doesn't want to get held up by the prime runner, but at the same time, Boyce DRS for holders heading to turn 6. Going to be a great opportunity down towards turn 7. Big overspeed run here. Can he get stopped around the outside? We saw Kimi Räikkönen try this in 2008 and get it all wrong, but Boyce makes it look absolutely easy. Planted that car there, great driving, but then makes a mistake at 8, heading into turn 9. Just when you think the move's done, you think he's safe to go back into the water. He makes a mistake, but gets away with it. And XRL Fozzie now's got a chance to turn 10. He's pulled to the inside, is he going to try it? Oh, Boyce goes a bit wide on the outside. No, but then he spins the car. XRL Fozzie catches it in a monumental drift, but loses out to the Toro Rosso, who gets on the brakes and lets him back through. Well, that's incredibly sporting of him. XRL Bernie lets him through either way. Very sporting, even if it wasn't a legal overtake. Really knew exactly what he was doing. Meanwhile, Thatcher says doesn't know what happened to the first corner. Car just span. And with Stewart there was some awful lag and then he was spinning and hitting him. Well, that's what it looked like on the stream as well, in the box. We didn't really know what happened. It just seemed all the grip disappeared. And the next thing we knew, there was a pile up at turn 2. Meanwhile, message for Speed Demon, what's he got to say? He thinks Milk pitted lap 6 for more options. Well, that'd explain the fact that he's been able to come out at the pace he has. Still, if he had been able to make him last as long as he has, that'd be a great piece of driving, wouldn't it?
And XRL Stewart's actually closing the gap at about 3.5 seconds now to Jamie.
So meanwhile, Magic Milk now goes wide at turn 7, manages to catch it. Turn 3 now, turn 8 even, sorry. Manages to get that a bit wrong. I saw P3, I got my numbers mixed up. Now, going back from this battle, there's actually an interesting duel between Pip Alonso in 4th place and then the Awesome Panda in 5th. These guys both didn't have the best of qualifying, but they both certainly got the pace in the race. And we've seen this before in real life so many times. We saw it from the likes of Jaime Aljaspari, Sebastian Buemi, and now look at Awesome Panda passing him into turn 10. But Pip Alonso had the tighter line and he's had to yield that one. Not easy to get past there despite the faster nature of the turn. Heading into the Anderson hairpin. Oh, Pip Alonso goes wide, and that's going to open the chance for Awesome Panda on the Anderson bridge. He uses his curves, gets into the slipstream, pulls out to the left, but it's going to be on the wider line into turn 13, but I think he might just get this done. No, Pip Alonso finds back, they brush tyres. Oh! Awesome Panda avoids hitting the wall, and then somehow gains the grit to take the position. Fantastic driving, and then he ruins it the next corner, goes wide and hits the wall. And losing his front wing in the process. That's a proper case of 0 to 0, sorry to say. Very unlucky. XRL Bernie and Fozzie meanwhile resumed their duel in 7th and 8th place, both on the option tyres, both doing the reverse strategy, and both driving okay. Lap pace isn't too bad, but you get the feeling these guys have been fighting for the top end of the points. And Ira Boyce almost shots across. XRL Fozzie and Bernie had to get out of the gas to avoid collecting him through the final corner. Not sure what happened there. Meanwhile, the streets of Marina-based Singapore certainly seem to bring the driver's aggressive nature out. Is it something about the closed walls that make you feel a bit more animalistic behind the wheel, do you think? XRL Stewart is not really closing the gap actually to Jamie. Jamie's done the best thing he could possibly do. Break out after the mistake, and then and now meanwhile 7 Ryan is trying to put the commentator's curse on the race. He says 11 laps in and no safety car. Yes. What would you gain from bringing that out in the middle of this race now? What is your game here, Mr. Ryan Hand? Oh, we have a mistake, XRL Fozzie at turn 10, and Bernie swipes on through, but then misses the chicane almost. Finds it difficult to get stopped. I'm not sure if he had all 4 tyres on there. It was very, very close. But he's gone wide at the Anderson hairpin. And that's going to open a chance now for XRL
Jamie
Fozzy.
spun. Okay.
So the leader's spun, and has he damaged his car or has he managed to catch it? Vetalas can keep going.
He has done it. Vetalas, he's got a tiny bit of front wing damage, but nothing compared to what others have had in this race.
And of course we've got XRL Stewart closing the gap very, very quickly now. After that mistake, heading into turn 5, you can see the driver. Oh, what was that, Stewart? That was all 4 tyres over, no doubt about that. And now he's weaving his tyres on the straight. What is he doing?
He's showing signs of slowing down. That's one of the new things you have to do if you cut corners.
Okay, so I didn't get that, Mo. I'm just like, what is he doing? Going through turn 8, manages to keep close to Jamie. So these guys are going to be definitely scrapping in the next couple of laps. So I'm a boys in P4, still doing a good job meanwhile. But XRL Bernie has got a great opportunity. DRS flat wide open as he heads towards the king down at turn 6 into 7, and Bernie fancies to go here. Boyce defends to the inside line. Bernie goes to the more natural racing line. Can he get the car stopped in time? Yes, he can. He makes that beautifully. But I'm a boy's credit to trying to drive around the outside at turn 8, and he's also being chased very quickly by the sister Ferrari of XRL Fozzy, who's also got the Red Bull, and I believe that's going to be Magic Milk. In 7th place, indeed, it is on the prior tyres. These 4 drivers are monumentally close. Going through turn 10, Boyce makes a mistake, that opens the door for Fozzy, and now Magic Milk is trying to capitalise, but almost spins the car at turn 12 into the Anderson hairpin, brushes the wall, and that puts down the mood a little bit. Magic Milk getting in the slipstream on XRL Fozzy, gets on the brakes at turn 13, gets a little wide, but catches that move absolutely beautifully, and now is definitely trying to chase after Armour Boyce. Now, I'm being asked on the stream by Sam and Ryan, where did Panda come out after his pit for a new wing? I presume at the back of the grid, but maybe one of you guys can check that for us.
Alonso is still out on his prime, just burning his sweat. I think Boyce is out as well.
In the meantime, Formula Boss F1 is saying that my voice is epic, apparently. Meanwhile, we've seen just XRL Fozzy dive into the pit on Magic Milk. Fancy's 2 in 1 as Bernie hits the wall, loses an end place somehow, and Magic Milk gets the move done. Fantastic drive from Magic Milk, and that's not got him back in the game, no doubt about it. In P3, meanwhile, still going on is XRL Bernie, going through turn 5, does a great job keeping things going. So it wasn't XRL Bernie, actually, it was Alonso. My mistake. Stuart, meanwhile, is 2nd place, catching close to Jamie, but despite the advantage of no wing damage, he's drifting the car through the hairpins and not closing the gap.
Yeah, he actually did get wing damage around the turn 9. He's lost an end plate.
I can see that now looking back from the car, so he's found that that's going to definitely honour the even out here, and that's going to work in Jamie's favour. Bit unfortunate,
He's gone wide. And Stuart takes the lead.
Yes, Stuart goes through. I missed that because I was watching, just going back to cycle back through to catch the action. Typical. Going through the grandstand corner, and Jamie now has got drunk all over his tyres and a missing end plate. So these guys are covered by maybe half a second. This is a great opportunity. Unbelievably, we're not even halfway through the race. What's going on? Going through the final corner. Jamie 2503. Got to have the DRS flat. Open a bit late now. Lost about 3 or 4 tenths, and that's going to compromise him to turn 1. And oh, what was that, Jamie? That was definitely all 4 tyres over. Meanwhile, Roberts is calling on the screen saying, suck up there from Formula Moss. I don't mind. Now going through turn 5, getting on the curves, getting out the DRS, and Jamie surely will have an opportunity now to P7. Gets the flap open, great chance here. Oh, a bit of moving and weaving there for Stuart, who filters back to the central line, taking the leaf out of XRL LGS's book, and manages to retain the lead. Well, maybe this won't be so easy after all.
Jamie nearly spun it again there at turn 7.
You get this feeling that it's easy to overdrive the car when you make one mistake and then you're trying to get back. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, Crazy Fish is like, swish, you're back. Yes, congratulations on noticing. Now, GP2 goes for 11 and 12, trying to get as much on the grip as possible into the Anderson hairpin, and you can see that actually Stewart's pulled a little bit of a gap there, surprisingly. I didn't think that he'd be able to pull out a lead there, because that's James' strong point normally. CRL Ellis, everyone wants me. On the back of the queue. Into 15 and 16, GP2 trying to close as much as he can onto the back of Stewart, who's just seeming to get better traction out the corners. Maybe that slightly later stop is playing into his hands here. And again, are these guys going to try and push on for maybe only one more stop from here? We're at lap 15, halfway through the race. Going to be difficult, you'd think, but then again, going for the gap back towards XRL Bernie, a long way ahead. So theoretically, they could do it. Well, that calls that one to an end, doesn't it? Yes, these guys are definitely only going to pit once, apart from when they pit twice now.
12 laps on the prime tyres of Jamie, and this is lap 12 for Stewart now, so they're going for similar sort of strategies.
Probably going to go for a slight burn at the end of the race on the option tyres. Meanwhile, Chris Fish saying typical Swish, hey, you love me really. Excellent Magic Mill, meanwhile, goes wide at the final corner, avoids getting any wheel advantage and avoids the walls. So, okay driving from him so far. And we've only had the one retirement thus far in the race, but anything's possible. The Living Dead now is under big pressure in P6, as he's got Rusty Nuts in the Williams. Behind them, Awesome Panda in the Lotus. These three guys are very close together all of a sudden. So, definitely not been the greatest of races so far from Living Dead. Not his strongest suit here, it would seem. Oh, meanwhile, what was that? One of the Warriors just dived off the circuit. I mean, that was Rusty Nuts, so he's lost out from two places out of nowhere. And now Awesome Panda is going to be all over Living Dead. Going out of turn 5, you see so much more confident. Such is the difference between the option and the medium. Flat wide open through the kink at turn 6, down towards turn 7, and you definitely Living Dead 69 defends to the inside line, takes the middle track, but Awesome Panther's going to try and go around the outside into turn 8. Can he make this work? It'll be a great move if he can. Oh, Living Dead slug on the inside. Awesome Panther hit the wall, a magnificent attempt right there for unbelievable for the Ferrari, goes through 2 in 1 corner. XRL Fozzie, the ultimate opportunist, Alonso-esque in the overtake.
Interestingly, Stewart stays out for yet another lap, goes a little wider around the final corner, weaves as well.
Going into the Anderson hairpin, Awesome Panda definitely struggling now with that lost front wing end plate, and behind him Living Dead is also single struggling with McLaren. Already he's been dropped. These guys are 7th and 6th place are very close together. We've got Awesome Panda in the Lotus, and then we've got the Ferrari of XRL Fozzie, both doing a great job so far into turns 15 and 16. Oh, Awesome Panda once again goes wide, collects a load of junk on his tyres, but avoids hitting the wall this time. It's the left pedal in the car, and he goes into the wall, and the grandstand hairpin loses the other end plate, and he's been passed again. Awesome Panda has really lost this now.
He's only got a 2 stop because he's staying out, and I reckon if he gets 2 more laps out, he's going to do another set of primes that will get him to the end.
Well, that's our Bunny just coming out of the pits now, another set of option tyres. He's going all out attack, it would seem, in the Toro Rosso. Ex-Lewis Hamilton, meanwhile, giving some advice to the lower division on the stream, saying that you should stay off the curve on the last corner if I was them to avoid spins. And then XRL Bowens has a little jive and says, as you'd proven last night. Nice, boys, play safe. Now, in the meantime, DRS Flavo from XRL, from heading down towards turn 6 into 7, but he's just too far behind Bernie, and I don't think he's going to get much of a chance yet. Fifth Alonso, meanwhile, in P8, he's running pretty much on his own at the moment. Awesome Panda, having had to change his wing, has now gone in for a fresh set of primes, and that's cost him another place. He's down in P10 now. 15 laps. I don't think you'll be able to make those last that long. Meanwhile, on the stream, CUFC X Ewan, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name again, I'm just going to say Ewan in the future, says at this rate, Panda's going to run out of wings. Can you actually do that? I've never actually tried. XR Stuart, meanwhile, out in the lead at the moment. Got quite a sizable lead actually, because Jamie's just crossed the line now. So that puts the lap, he is about 22 seconds ahead. Ooh, that's going to be interesting now, because he might have just done enough to gap Jamie here.
Another front wing change as well.
Apparently, according to Andy Cobb, you can actually run out of front wings. It makes sense, but I've never seen it happen, so I don't really know. XRL Fozzy in P5 doing a great job for Ferrari. Behind him, XRL Bernie trying to catch it quite quickly on those fresh option tyres, but there's no way they're going to last to the end, so he's definitely going to have to stop. Andy Cobb says he actually ran out of wings at Monaco once. Not cool, not what you want. Fevaloso in P8 is going to inherit a position as Rusty Nuts has gone into the pits, possibly for the last time, looking at potentially 13 laps on those tyres. Definitely an opportunity, unless he goes for the options. No, he's gone for the primes, so definitely an opportunity here. And Ryan Adams making an observation on Awesome Panda says that when he's got a damaged wing, it seems to give him immense understeer, which takes him onto the dirty part of the track, makes him more likely to lock up, and it really gets out of hand, but quite easy after just a little bit of damage. Well, we've seen in real life how only one tiny bit of damage to a car can completely ruin a race. And we saw that with Kimi Räikkönen a few years ago, where he had to repair his car when it was actually burning because he got hit on the radiator and the car started to warm up a bit too much.
Stuart Pitts in the lead.
Right, so let's ride on board with Jamie then in the Mercedes, who went a bit wide in the grandstand. So it's going to be an opportunity here. Jamie just coming through turn 22 now, coming onto the pit straight. I think he's probably just going to get ahead of Stuart here. Yeah, Stuart's only just leaving his box now, evidently held in the pits due to the low pit speed. So Jamie takes the lead. Now, the big question is how big is Jamie's lead? Because he's likely to need to pit again.
Magic Milk also takes second place from Stuart.
That's not what Stuart needed. He did not need that Red Bull driver getting in the mix. As Stuart goes into turn 3, gets a little wide on the cold tyres. The prime tyres are so hard to warm up. Ira Boy switches to the option tyres of P4. So both XRL Fozzy and XRL Bernie go through.
It'll be interesting to see how Jamie's going to struggle at the end, if he's going to stay out for the remaining laps, seeing if he pitted 4 laps before Stuart did.
That's the thing. I mean, you get the feeling that Jamie's going to try and go for a burn on the option tyres. And we saw again the Hungaroring this weekend. Look how close Nico Rosberg came to stealing a podium when he went onto that aggressive strategy after being held up by Hamilton. It can be done if you're on the right tyres at the right time. And XRL Bernie certainly seems to be in that case, because he's all over the back now of that Ferrari. XRL Fozzy in trouble as it into turn 9. XRL Bernie goes to the switchback and a potential move to turn 10. Deploys his curves. He's going to stick to the move. He's committed. Goes to the inside. There's been an amazing move that makes it stick. And he does. Unbelievable for XRL Bernie. Yeah, you can argue that XRL Fozzy didn't give him much room, but Bernie had the corner and Fozzy should have lifted. Great aggressive driving there from Bernie.
Sounds like here that Bernie could be a dark horse for a push.
I don't really see it because of the fact that he's going to have to pit again. And up ahead of him, meanwhile in P3, you've got Stuart, who's running on the prime tyres quite some distance ahead. And even the Red Bull of Magic Milk is, on old primes, quite likely to need a splash on the option tyres, will get out ahead. So I don't think he's going to get a podium, but potentially P4. And I think if he said to XRL Bernie that he'll get to the end of Singapore in 4th place, he'd have bit your hand off. XRL Fozzy dives into the pits, so here we go. This will make things interesting and a bit dicey, because XRL Fozzy, if he goes to the prime tyres, he will not need to stop again. XRL Bernie will. Will strategy undo Bernie? No, he's gone for the option tyres. XRL Fozzy has unbelievably gone for the options.
Gonna be a tough half, 11 laps.
And the boys goes through P5 in the Lotus now. Meanwhile, question on the stream about when will the stream from last night go on the YouTube channel. I'm not entirely sure because I don't get involved in that side of it. Usually they try and get it on straight away, but as Bollard said, last night's has not been uploaded yet, so I don't really know. Meanwhile, Crazy Fish is saying the streams aren't up on straight away. Also, Ryan Adams says, Bernie, man on a mission, question mark. Well, he's certainly driving like he's on one, so definitely going to give it his all, but you get the feeling he's just not going to have the pace to sneak onto the podium. But then again, we've not had a safety car. This guy's have actually kept it together, so who knows? Anything could happen. We saw that last night in the F1 division where a safety car happened right at the end. Anything could happen in F1.
Stuart's going to go on the inside of the grandstand. Magic Milk just keeps ahead of him.
Heading through the field, XRL Fozzie is 7th place on his own, 5th Alonso pretty much on his own is 6th. And I'm a Boyce also on his own. Bit of a field spread in the middle pack for some strange reason. XRL Billy, but then yes, XRL Stuart all over the back of Magic Milk. Going on to the DRS. Will you want to pass at turn 1? I wouldn't, because you don't want to be on the threat for DRS at turn 7. But that's not going to put Stuart off. He's going to make a move. Magic Milk pretty much led him through there, and I can see why. Because he wants to get off turn 3 easily, go through 4 and get the DRS to be able to take that place back. This is why I hate DRS zones right after each other. It's absolutely stupid.
But Magic Milk is a lot further back than he would have wanted to be.
Definitely going through turn 6 and actually Stuart might get this move done purely due to tyres. Indeed he does. So Magic Milk's strategy has backfired. A disaster. But for me, I still don't understand why we don't have a DRS zone down the Anderson Bridge. I think it'd be far better than on the home straight. But then again, I bet the health and safety people are getting in the way of that one. It's like you want to give people lower downforce while going over water on a bridge? Are you mad? Answer, yes, I am. Rusty Austin P8, meanwhile, has currently got his teammate Unstoppable behind him by a few seconds, so done a decent job there. And Austin Panda has fallen back, but he's still on course for a single point. Yes, at the moment, oh, Panda gets so close to turn 5, breaks another end plate. I think we've got a new champion leader in the Nose Chrome Destruction Championship this weekend. As Tom Chambers is running in P11, we've actually had a lot more finishes, because Living Dead in the McLaren in P12 is just coming out of the pits now. This is extraordinary. We've got more than double the finishes so far in the GP2 race. Meanwhile, XRL Bobbers is trying to do the commentator's curse here. He's saying that Bernie will bottle it. Oh, you evil man.
Actually, quite a bit.
This guy's on the option tyres. The guys ahead are on the primes. Like, you've got Magic Milk is on 1 prime tyres. Now, it's potentially here. If Magic Milk and Bernie stop around about the right time, then he might be able to get through here. Bernie got a little wide at turn 3 there. I'm not sure if he gained an advantage, but all 4 tyres definitely seem to be on. But then again, that's not much they've not seen a lot of that tonight, surprisingly. There's not been as much in the way of track extending and corner cutting. There's been a few called, but there's not been as many as usual, which is nice to see. Oh, so Fifth Alonso is getting mugged by XRL Fozzie, who taps his wheels, and Fifth Alonso goes through the runoff at turns 2 and 3. I don't think Fifth Alonso's going to be happy about that, and I get the feeling that Fozzie's going to let him back through here. Indeed, he does at turn 4. So that was good driving there from XRL Fozzie. Well, Fifth Alonso's got to be careful. On the marbles, he's trying to weave them off, and now as a result of that, Fozzie's going to blast past him down towards turn 7. Well, he gave the place back. That's what is going to create a few arguments, isn't it?
The gap between Stuart and Jamie is about 3 to 4 seconds now.
Let's move forward to actually cap. Well, again, I mean, the thing is, like, don't forget, Jamie stopped 4 laps earlier than XRL Stuart. So Stuart in the McLaren has got 4 laps fresh and rubber. You get the feel Jamie will need to pit. And at this moment, if Jamie does need to pit, then he's going to definitely lose this race. If he doesn't pit, XRL Stuart's going to be all over the back of him like a rash. Either way, we're going to have a fight for the victory.
It looks up around turn 3.
Got a little out of shape, but nothing too serious. And heading through to, I think that's a... Is that XRL Bernie? No, it's not. It's Magic Milk. Magic Milk is in the pits. So XRL Bernie now goes on to the podium. Well, can he stay there? I think it's going to be a big, big ask. But he might have got some help from an unexpected area, because Ivor Boyce on the options for Lotus has just gone past Magic Milk. And I get the feeling that Boyce is going to try and stay out. Oh, Magic Milk came perilously close to the white line at the edge of the pits there, but got away with it, I think.
Boyce has got no end plate.
That's what I'm saying. Because he's got no end plates, Boyce is going to be backing up Magic Milk. Is that going to help XRL Bernie to an absolutely unbelievable podium position? A bit of a giant killing performance potentially here, viewers.
Lewis Hamilton performance maybe. Again.
Say that again, Connor.
And if you look at Bernie's tyres are quite well, he would have to put again, I think.
That's what I'm thinking. But again, this is the question. We've seen Magic Milk box and Bernie go through. If we see Magic Milk getting held up in the dirty air behind I'm a Boys, having his tyres worn out even faster, XRL Bernie on the fresher rubber might be able to pilfer that at the end of the race. As XRL Stuart, meanwhile, goes over the start-finish line. I don't think he's actually close to gap that much to Jamie, has he?
In fact, Jamie's actually pulled away about a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I think he's under big pressure here, XRL Stuart, and he's actually got a couple of lap cars in his way. So it's only one lap advantage. That's a bit of a disappointment. Oh, he took a very wide entry there. It was almost like he was trying to drive to the Red Bull pit when he went into that one. You might be the sister team, buddy, but you're not going to get that kind of favouritism, I'm sure of that. Heading down the main straight out, I'm a Boys, just round on board. He goes through the final corner. He's going to easily clear XRL Bernie. Magic Milk, meanwhile, is only just behind him, so this is where it's all going to matter. Goes a bit wide and gets away with it, avoids the curb and avoids spinning. But Bernie's coming out of the pits. Has Bernie got him here? This is going to be vitally close. Coming into turn 3. And no, he crossed the line. Did he get a warning? He's given the place up. Well, look how close he is to Magic Milk. Well, this is a scrap I didn't think we'd see. How can Magic Milk pull away since those tyres are only a lap older? Or can XRL Bernie stay close using the DRS down towards turn 7? Not close enough to make a move this time, XRL Bernie, and it might be a case of too little too late, but we will ride on board and see what happens. Meanwhile, message on the stream from Crazy Fish. What's he saying this time?
And Jamie Pitt.
Well, a question actually from Crazy Fish saying, what do we think of people who post the game coming out of the pit so they don't cross the white line? And allegedly one of the drivers did it yesterday. Well, I imagine you lose a lot of pace, don't you, if you do that?
Oh, it actually keeps you on the white line and you go quicker.
Well, if that's the case, then surely that's cheating.
But there's no way to inherit it.
You're gaining an advantage, aren't you, by therefore... But, like, again, how do you prove it? How do you prove someone's doing it?
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Magic Milk's at the big pressure grid. Bernie's actually got close up to him through Sector 2. XRL Bernie, the wily old fox, might actually steal a podium here. For someone who's stepping down from leading XRL, he's doing a good fight.
Jamie's now about 8 seconds behind Stuart on the option tyres now.
Well, that's going to be the big question. The primes of Stuart, can they resist the fast charging options of Jamie? You wouldn't expect it. XRL Bernie's close up through turns 1 and 2, and he's going to have the DRS down to 7. I think XRL Bernie's got a great chance here.
And Living Dead's lost another front wing.
This is hardly a surprise. DRS flat wide open down towards turn 6 for XRL Bernie. He deploys his curves and pulls onto the outside. Magic Milk switches to the outside. Is Bernie going to sling on the inside and have a go? No, he's not. He's just too far behind. Ex-Lewis Hamilton meanwhile on the street saying, never give it, Bernie. Keep pushing, force him into a mistake. Well, it's possible. We've seen it before. We saw Jensen Button do it to Sebastian Vettel at Canada in 2011 after all.
Someone's going
Well, he's out of the way of XRL Bernie and also Magic Milk, who just come to stands in the hairpin now. And Living Death destroyed his vehicle! We're going to have a safety car on the final 5 laps! What happened there?
And Jay, that means Stuart can get the option tyres.
And he can get a free pit stop!
But he's going to be behind 2 lap cars when they come up to the safety car. It's great for Jamie.
How did Living Dead cause that? What happened?
I think it was him that came up and basically just rammed in the wall by the looks of it.
If he rammed into the wall on his own, we're definitely under safety car conditions here. And of course, the problem we've got is very, very simple. And Magic Milk goes into the pits, as does XRL Bernie. They might as well, they've got nothing to lose, because behind them by some distance is I'm a Boys. He's only coming up to the grandstand now. And while Boys will be rushing back to the pits, I don't think he's going to come out ahead of these guys. Now Magic Milk coming out of the pits, he's gonna Bernie's held in the pits for him, so he's not been able to jump him in the pit lane. But these guys are going to be on fresh tyres, hammer and Tonks to the end of the race. We're going to have a thriller at the end. And meanwhile, Boyce goes through the Lotus. He's not pitted. He's gambling on his tyres lasting and having track position.
The Boyce only came in a few laps ago, so he's relatively fresh as well.
XRL Fozzie in P6, he's been a bit of a gain under all of this. And in P7, Rusty Nuts in the Williams doing a solid job. Ian O'Stoppel coming out of the pits in the sister Williams. I don't think he's under pressure from anyone, really. Yeah, Fifth Alonso, made a big mistake going into the pits there. Rode on the curb and very nearly went into the wall, David Coulthard style. Meanwhile, Tom Chambers has not been able to get back to the pits because he's behind the safety car. And he cannot overtake because they've not been given permission to overtake the safety car. So Tom Chambers is losing out massively here.
And the person that gives the advantage here to is Jamie, because he's got 2 lap cars separating him and Stewart.
Because you've got Tom Chambers and 11th, and indeed the awesome Panda, and Panda's on fresh tyres. I don't think Panda is going to get out of the way.
Well, both Tom Chambers and Panda went in the pits at the same time as Stewart, so they've all got fresh tyres, and they've got to get out of the way as soon as the safety car comes in.
Now the safety car just took off on my screen. It popped a wheelie going through the final corner. I don't want to see that. I know Jigsaw 6, I'm a boy, stayed out. I'm pretty certain of that as well. And on the screen, Ben H96 saying, Jack, you lad. I'm guessing he's referring to Living Dead with that one, because I don't know anyone by the name of Jack. Now, Boyce in P3, he's gambling here on his tyres. And because he's so far behind the safety car, him and Magic Milk are ahead of XRL Bernie, and they're under no real pressure here, because they're not being backed up as yet. Because the safety car has only just gone through down towards turn 7. They're nowhere near the safety car.
Safety car should come in this lap.
Well, is it going to wait for everyone to catch up to the safety car?
It comes out for 2 laps and then it goes in.
Magic Milk in. So the big question here is, has Boyce pulled off one of the sensational moves here to steal the podium? Because he's at turn 8, just as Magic Milk arrives at 7. And he's I don't know, he's going to catch the safety car, so no. He's going to backfire because the safety car's not reached turn 10. To me, well, the question we have to ask is, what happened to Living Dead? How did that incident happen?
Well, shall we invite him to the box and ask him?
That's the best thing we can do.
I've got a feeling he's gone offline.
Well, if he has, he's obviously got something he doesn't want to talk about. The helmet's staying on. He's not going anywhere near the reporters. Rusty Nuts in P7 in the Williams trying to catch up to the back of the safety car. Ian O'Stoppel now in 8th. On the street, Ben H96 asking what position is Boyce, and he's in 3rd, but he's going to be under big pressure because now we've got Jamie backing up the pack already as we go under the grandstand. He's got no alternative, he has to, because he has to make sure the safety car's in the pits to avoid catching it up. There go the green flags, and Jamie has bolted, so XR Fozzie in P6. Then we've got XR Bernie in P5, chasing after the second Lotus of Magic Milk in the Red Bull. And then our boys to go through the final corner now, and Jamie has already bolted as the white cars get out of the way. He stole about a second and a half on Stewart there. Stewart's got it all to do the hard way as we head through turns 2 and 3. But Stewart's on the fresher tyres, you think, so he might have a chance to make this work. Meanwhile, Magic Milk is all over the back of our boys. There's no DRS, of course, for the next 2 laps. So we're only going to see DRS action on laps 30 and 31. There's only 2 laps left of that. We've already got field spreaders. Magic Milk looks at the back of our boys, who takes the inside turn 7 and gets away with that. Meanwhile, in P5, XRL Bernie under pressure already from XRL Fozzie in the Ferrari, and then behind him in the Williams, we've got Rusty Nuts trying to catch as close as he can, just avoiding catching the safety car. Heading through turn 10, the closest battle on track at the moment is Magic Milk. And our Boyce, the Boyce is defending like crazy into the Anderson hairpin. Oh, Magic Milk brushes the outside wall, gets away with it for now. DRS is not available and goes down the Anderson bridge with the curse. Down towards turn 13, turn 14. Can he make this move? Oh, Alonso's lost connection. We've lost the driver. 3 laps through the end. Has the safety car caused a problem with the connection? So Fifth Alonso's given up. We're only going to have 10 finishers. Everyone's going to get a point as long as they see the checkered flag. Magic Milk in P4 all over the back of Ira Boyce. Meanwhile, XRL Bernie has got Fozzie all over him like a rash. And behind Fozzie, we've also got Ian Stumble. Alonso, what happened?
For this game, this is just a load of bullshit.
Please avoid swearing if you can. We're liable now.
Sorry not to, but it's just a load of bullshit. Quite frankly. Sorry.
Well, you lasted very long there.
Safety cars, Living Dead's just sort of ruined the race.
I mean, we don't. All we know is the Living Dead destroyed. Well, Kevin with the message saying destroyed its vehicle.
Destroyed the whole race. It's destroyed the whole race. I don't know why he's crashed his car. Even though I saw it behind me, he just lost it. Lost his car.
XRL Fozzie fancies a move on the inside of Bernie into turn 7, but he's got too hot on the brakes and Bernie has the natural line to pull away. Fozzie very nearly lost the position to Rusty Nuts, but Rusty Nuts just not close enough. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, Living Dead's just totally ruined the race.
Well, I mean, obviously, we're... Sorry, carry on.
I had a good strategy and then the safety car system. I couldn't even get back up to the pack because I lost my wing when the safety car deployed, so I lost about 8 seconds in the pit lane.
Well, commiserations on obviously what's happened. Moving forward, obviously, we're going to be taking on the likes of Suzuka and Korea. Is that more your forte? Oh, big collision with Magic Milk! He got his tyres brushed by Boyce and he was unable to stop the car and he smashed into a wall, lost an end plate, so Boyce might well now hang on to this, and unbelievably Bernie is now catching it up. Meanwhile, Smitty, I don't think I will because it's going to be a bit late. So sorry, I kind of stopped you from answering my question then. Moving on to Suzuka and Korea, is that more your area?
Give it my best shot, but it's not my strongest tracks. Probably India and Brazil or my mid-2 that I can probably most likely get big points. But it's going to be a long battle. You know, I had a really good, decent race pace. I was going to sacrifice quality for race, so I've done the race setup, and then after that it was just great. The car was just really responsive after I struggled for the last few days with a set of race. So yeah, I'll give it a go. But yeah, for definitely sure this is going to be my done racing, so I'll probably take commentary next season, 2014. I'll be bothered to race any more long distance or short distance, so probably think about commentary next season. No racing.
Well, don't make any decisions in a rush, but I always think everything through before you do anything.
My decision is already made. Quite frankly, Jamie done a legal overtake on me, and then he never gave the place back up, and Stuart just told him just to go racing, just to go. It just made me annoyed, and then so I was having connections issues.
Well, interesting, Alonso, both myself and Swish both got that potential move down to turn 1, so we will have a look back at it, and obviously if you're recording tonight we can have a look at your footage as well.
All 4 wheels was off the track, there's no question. You know, I gave him plenty of room, but he definitely corner footed that first turn. You know, it made me annoyed because he never gave the place back up. You know, I was still on my first stint when he did that overtake, and you know, I was going deeper into the race, and when Boyce caught me up, you know, I was heading into the pit lane, so I didn't see anyone, so I was struggling with connection-wise. I couldn't see no one on the track. I think I was in my own different race, so I didn't know what position I was. I didn't know what the gap was to ahead of me or behind me. I could have just easily retired, but I thought I'd just stick it in. Give up because Living Dead destroyed the game. You know, it was a good race. Everyone was enjoying the battle, and then everyone got kind of annoyed because. Yeah.
Well, commiserations, thank you for your comments and best of luck next week.
Nice to see you again.
So XRL Bernie is round the final lap here. Last chance to make any attempt here on Magic Milk. We're going into turn 7. Magic Milk's got the DRS on the back of Boyce, who's hanging on for a potential podium. Mistake from Magic Milk at turn 8. And Bernie's lost it, and he's been overtaken by 2, 3, 4 cars. He's down in P7. XRL Bernie's tossed it under pressure. He's thrown it into the wall, and Rusty Nuts goes to P6. Meanwhile in P5, XRL Fozzie. XRL Bernie will be fuming under the helmet. He will be kicking himself at that mistake. Up in front, meanwhile, Jamie's done enough. He's been able to make this through, and it looks like he's going to be taking home victory here at Marina Bay Singapore. Stewart's giving it all as a fight, but you get the feeling he's just too far behind to make the move. As we go under the grandstand for the last time in the hands of XRL Stewart into turns 20 and 21, and he's just not close enough to attack Jamie, who's around the final corner now, and he takes the checkered flag. So win here in Singapore. Stewart comes a commendable second place, and I'm the Boyce is on position for third place. Magic Milk pushed him hard. XRL Fozzie looks like he's going to do a great recovery to P5. And all the hearts will go out to XRL Bernie as XRL Bobbert is gloating, saying, I told you he would bottle it. I also told you you're an evil, evil man. But he's going to come out and take some points in P8, the last of the runners. So, in the end, we've got Austin Panda down in 9th, a lap behind, and then Tom Chambers is going to get a point for Ferrari as well. A lap down in P10. It just shows to show you've got to finish to get the points. So let's get the top 3 into the points here, onto the podium, and we'll get their comments on the race. So we're just waiting for all the drivers to join us here on the podium. Thank you all very much for watching so far tonight. All the coverage, of course, brought to you by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Joined tonight by Chris Moss, myself, and also Connor Anderson. Now, just waiting for everyone else to come in here. Singapore, it seems, brings the best out of the drivers, and it's one that always gets people up to scratch. Meanwhile, we've not got the actual race winner joined us as yet, surprisingly. Jamie's not joined the party. So while we wait for Jamie to join us, we'll go over to you, Stuart. I mean, obviously, you had a lot of pace. After that first corner incident, which Fat Chan has come on the stream and said there's no idea what happened, did you think you had a chance to be able to get the win there? Before we answer that question, we'll come back to you in a second. Jamie, a tough race in many ways because it looked like you were out in front, you had the great position courtesy of your teammate's mistake, and then you found yourself being chased by a rather relentless McLaren who wasn't able to give it up. Did you think you'd still take the race win come the end?
Yeah, it did get pretty tough. I was lucky that the 2 back markers who were getting lapped had pitted when the safety car came out to put a couple of cars in between me and Stuart. Before that, I just closed in a second because he was doing a 2-stop. So I knew it was going to be close either way, but I'm quite happy that I managed to hold it.
Well, obviously, it's obviously a tricky circuit. I mean, in qualifying pace, both you and your teammate Fatchan actually set times that would have been good enough for pole position in the Formula 1 division. So you guys definitely seem like you had it all hooked up in terms of having the pace for the overall weekend here in Singapore.
Yeah, I put a lot of practice in through the week. I've been testing different setups and finally paid off.
Well, big congratulations to taking what is a tricky place to win, and obviously it's going to give you a lot of form going into the tracks at Suzuka and at Yongnam.
Yeah, I hope so. I quite like Japan. I won there last season in GP2. Hopefully I can repeat it again.
Fantastic. Well, we'll go over to you now, Stu. Obviously, I asked you a couple of questions before we were joined by the winner on the podium, bit of a late arrival, Kimi Raikkonen asked there. But so, meantime, the race looked like you potentially had the chance to take victory with the reverse tyre strategy where you kept the whole prime tyres going. But then the safety car just kind of tossed it off in the air a bit, didn't it?
Well, first of all, congratulations to Jamie. I'm pretty sure that's your first win, yeah. But, congratulations to you. When the safety car came out and obviously I had the gap, I was actually pretty happy because it was pretty obvious that Jamie was going to catch me on those options. I mean, it was like 2 seconds quicker per lap or something. So I was quite annoyed though when the 2 back markers were in my way. and Jamie got a massive gap as soon as the safety car flew in, and I just couldn't unfortunately catch him. So, oh well,
Yeah,
I'll take 18 points.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the safety car's done that so many times. For anyone who remembers the 2005 race at Australia, that happened 3 times, and Fernando Alonso was the lucky benefactor that day. It's just one of those things that's unfortunately part of racing. But with your form that happened on a circuit as tight and technical as Singapore, is that going to give you a lot of confidence going into Suzuka, going into more technical circuits at the end of the season?
Yeah. Looking forward to the races that are coming up. I mean, this suit my style a lot, so hopefully I can continue to extend the gap on the championship, which obviously I've done today.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations to you. Meantime, Voyaged, I think one simple phrase sums up your race today: ultimate opportunist.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, at one point it seemed like you were looked for around about 5th or 6th place, where we had both XRL Bernie, XRL Fozzie, and Magic Milk, seemingly in that kind of like Trinity battle for 3rd place. But your unexpected call with the tyres under the safety car to put your trust in the rubber and not react and pit, well, that's pretty much what gave you the 3rd place. Was that always your strategy?
Yeah, because I was 2 seconds off the pace last night, so I thought I won't qualify. I'll just do some practice laps in the race, like in quality. So. And I was used to the tyres and stuff, so I thought, go for it now. And then ended up in 3rd at the end. I was like, how did this happen?
Just so to say, you got to be on the right tyres at the right time, and obviously be brave enough to make that kind of strategy call. I mean, are you under any other?
I've been a lap before.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So you have the tyres pretty much fresh. Are you under any illusions, though, that you're going to be on the podium next week in Japan, or do you think you're more realistically going for the mid-car points?
If I can get a seat for Japan, and I'm quite strong around there, so then if I can get a seat next week, I should be up there somewhere.
Okay, well, in the meantime, then, thanks to all of you out there, and of course, congratulations to all the drivers who put on a great race today. And of course, thank you to all you people who watched on the stream, courtesy of GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk, both on Channel 1 and Channel 2, a rare simulcast for GP2. You've had myself, Pete Markroft, you've also had Chris Moss in the box, along with us, Connor Anderson as well. Now, tomorrow evening, the F4 race will be going live, so you'll have myself in there doing that one as well. And on the Wednesday evening, we have the simulcast of the F5000 and the T6 races. So you'll be able to watch the guys, the newer members of the leagues, all strutting their stuff around Marina Bay, Singapore. Sunday evening, we will be back at Suzuka, Japan, one of the classics of the circuit, and I'm pretty sure we'll have more races and more action to bring for you. But in the meantime, thank you all very much for watching, and good night.